Really? I know you picked up the favourable keys out of the fruit bowl. The fucking life in the fast lane of a miniature painter, eh? Was it your first time? Yeah. I mean, I think I'm inclined to empathise with you there. Yeah, it's a rocky slope. You need a certain, I think you need a robust calm about you for something like that. Wow, you have brightened my evening. Will the painter, good evening. I say good evening. I think you've scared everyone off, El. Brilliant. What's that? What's the common painter forum talk? Pics and it didn't happen. Please don't post it. Wow, brilliant. Holy shit, that brew is hot. Yeah, you've tickled me there, man. Aye, lovely cuppa. Good evening, Anna Maria. Mate, you talk about what you want. You talk about what you want. I'm happy, you know. I'm not that judgy, to be honest. And if other people watching want to, then it's up to them, innit? You know, they're free, we're free. Freedom! You know, it's like why I keep having these guitar live streams in the dark when I know people just want to hear me talk about painting, but it's not always about just them, is it? Sometimes it's about me giving what I want to give. Yeah. Choice. That's where I'm at the moment, philosophically speaking. It's the one thing we have is choice. No matter what. We think we've got no choice, but we've always got choice. It's just all stifled in us, the knowledge that we have choice. And that's freedom, essentially, isn't it? what? Oh, it sounds like Punisher. Just making it up, you know. Insta love, yeah. I just sit here, just make up some random things, and that's my night. So this guitar makes me incredibly happy. Like everything about it. I know you can't really see it in the dark, but it's just cracking. It's got a cool pyramid design. That start off at the top like full pyramids, and with each little bit, there's a slice taken off, and the pyramid gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. It's all in luminous pink, green and yellow, every bit of it. So yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's all finished now and I'm displaying the cabinet in Manchester. But actually, when I did that video last night of the weathering, which I've put up on YouTube, by the way, and in hindsight, I'd done two little mess ups on it. First mess up, I did my army style painting method on it, and I just kind of got lost in the demonstrating the technique again and again for people, and in demonstrating it, I actually lost sight of my objective, and my objective was to do a slightly higher standard paint job on it. So I've got this higher standard paint job with lower standard weathering on top of it, and that kind of kills the vibe of all of it for me. So that's the first thing. And the next thing I forgot to do is I forgot to add orange into some of my lighter weathering glazes, just to take out the more tobacco nature of snakebite leather, the more yellow colours that come through in snakebite leather, and yeah, I just got a little bit of regret in it. So should I go back and fix it? I could certainly add the orange. That'd be an easy thing to do. But could I up the standard? I'm not too sure. I might need to do a full repaint on at least the silver bits, the chrome bits. So yeah, so I'll have to keep a check on myself if I do more demonstration vids in the future about what it is I'm trying to do and get across. And just stay focused, essentially. Stay focused, you know. Because I was alright with some other bits being of a lower standard. Because that's about saving time. But those chrome silver areas on the shoulder pads, them to me the main feature of that model, other than the face. You know, so they really to me needed to be better. Now, in the mix of my entire army of knights, I've got lots of different levels of painting standard, because when I paint my own armies, I like to experiment. So they're all slightly different reds, or some have got a higher level of finesse in the painting than others. But that one in particular, I did actually want a higher level. I just got distracted by giving you guys the goods, essentially. So yeah, I'll watch out for that in future. Stephen, how are you, Mr. Nocturnus? You all right? You guys all know Journeyman Miniatures, by the way. They've asked me to do an event. It's me first event doing a painting course for quite a while, and yeah, they've asked me to do my fundamentals course over in Hull. So yeah, I'm quite I'm quite proud about that. To know that I'm still kind of desired, I suppose. You know, that the information I've got is still valid. So, I mean, it's got to be valid anyway, because I'm not dealing in my opinion or trends or anything like that. You know. Yeah, well, I'm going to use this. So since being ill, and you know, I've had some physical and emotional knocks, and I've been pretty, been a little bit unconfident about running another event. You know, and there's two reasons. One is my own ability. You know, while I can do one-on-one painting lessons, I'm very, 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 very well rehearsed with those things now. But when it comes to doing an event, I'm not sure that I have the right profile enough at the moment to put bums on seats for myself. You know, Auto Cucumber. You're doing Lance course with them in October. Yes, indeed. Steve is too far for us. Yes, Hull is a way away. You know. So yeah, I mean, I'm not the prolific painter I was. You know, the standard of stuff I produce at the moment isn't the standard of stuff that it used to be, and I'm not as proactive, I think is the right word. I'm not as proactive in promoting myself in the same way I used to do. I don't take the same quality pictures I used to do. I don't spaff it around forums and every Facebook group I can do. You know, I don't paint at the pinnacle of my abilities anymore. You know, I just kind of just chilling, just enjoying what it is I do. You know, so yeah, again, to be asked to do a painty thing is nice. So some of those things I plan on changing. Did plan on changing it, like I said, with a little bit with the night, by just refining my techniques a little bit, and force myself to refine my techniques a little bit. So, but you know, there you go. I'm going to work on those things. But next is my board. I'm going to flip it around so you can see my board in the spooky light. There it is. So yeah, I'm going to paint all that soon. That's my gaming board. It's a 2 foot by 4 foot double level. So yeah. So there, I think I'm just going to play guitar. You guys are having a conversation, aren't you? Mr. Alexander Barbado, how are you? Hi D, you okay? Manu Salgado. Hello, how are you guys? Yeah, Sweet Child of Mine. It's one of my favourite songs to play, that. It's a cracking tune. God, great stuff. Yeah, cheers. I mean, I appreciate when it comes to painting all the help I can get, you know, and I've only got gratitude. That's what I mean. Again, I say every freaking video. I say all the time. I only do all these things just to help you. I mean, like when I'm playing guitar, I'm doing it a little bit for me because I fancy some company. But ultimately, I'm here just for you guys to pick my brains, you know, because I don't think there's enough of that. There's plenty of videos of people sat there painting and doing guides and blah blah blah, but there's a lot missing from those things. Generally a guide is for somebody who can already do that. There's no guides out there for how do I get from beginner to advanced. Do you know what I mean? There's nobody doing that. And again, that's what my fundamentals course is about. You know, if a beginner follows a painting guide, say an heavy metal standard painting guide, is he going to be able to do it because he's following the guide? No, he isn't. Is he going to be able to do it after a year's practice? Well, no, probably not. Depends if he's got the right teacher. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. You know, just because you've got a guide, it doesn't mean you've got the answer. So in fact, I was laying in bed this morning, and I was doing like my breathing exercises that I do before I get up. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I mean, when people ask me recipes for, say, non-met sort of things like that, it drives me crazy because you can have the recipe all you want, but you're not going to be able to do it just because you've got the recipe. In fact, I could have all the wrong colours for my recipe and I could still probably do it. So what I thought about doing is I thought about taking all my non-met colours and painting, say, 6 different objects. I could paint skin, I could paint leather, I could paint many different types of leather, I could paint hair, yeah, I could paint something non-met gold, I could paint plant, earth, rock, all with them colours, you know. And given that I could do all that deliberately, well, imagine the results you get if you don't know what you're doing and you're just randomly throwing these 5 colours around. Do you know what I mean? So it's not about the colours you're using. Obviously, if you're trying to get non-met gold and you're using black, grey, and green, you're probably not going to get non-met gold. So, you know, there's a bit of common sense involved. You know, but, you know, you got like Andy Wardle, he uses 3 colours and he uses them really effing well. So, in fact, the non-met silver on my flower night, that's pretty much 2 colours. 3 if you include black, you know, just for some little line areas, but that's 2 colours. You know, so no one's asking the right questions, but also no one else is giving the right answers. That's what I see everywhere. I mean, maybe them answers come in people's Patreon pages. And would I love a Patreon page? Yeah, but I don't know how to use it, and I'm not that confident. And to be honest, I just like the instant accessibility. I don't like the idea that there's money flying around, and maybe even a feeling of obligation because there's money flying around. You know, I won't give customers the content they want. I give them the content they need, and a lot of people don't like that. Do you know what I mean? I just, It's not my way. I'm going to give you what you need to get better, not what. I'm not going to feed your ego. I'm not. I just won't. You know. So that's that. You know. It's like when I teach privately. You know, everyone comes at me with requests about what it is they want to learn, what they think the problems are, this blah blah blah. But everyone gets the same lesson, and not because I enforce it on them. It's because the answers are the answers. It's not. There's no argument about it. The answers are the answers. You know, if you're a shit painter, it'll probably come down to a series of decisions you're making, and they'll be along the lines of: do you know how to use your palette? Do you know how to use your brush? Do you know how to use your paint? There you go. There's painting. You know, but you tell me a painting guide that shows you how to use your palette, what your palette is for. Now you'll get it for wet palettes, but they're a different beast altogether. And a wet palette is actually taking a series of skills away from you. You know, so do you know? Do you know what your brush does? If you do X with brush, do you know what result you get? You know, so they're all the things I teach. I don't teach how to do things. I teach how to do any things, if that makes sense. So yeah, kind of thing you'll expect from the painting course. You know, who's been on my painting course? I think if there's some names you all might know. Who's been on some of my courses? Martin Waller, he's been on one. In fact, I think he did a review for Beasts of War. Byron Ord, he's been on my non-Mets one, certainly. Damien Pedley, Peter Bell, Phil Walsh, they've all been on. Danny Nuttles had private lesson with me. James Otero, he spent a weekend with me. That was before his Golden Demon. In fact, I think before Danny's Golden Demons as well. I'm not too sure. Not that I'm responsible for them things, because I'm really not. It's their hard work. Who else? Yeah, I mean, I'm. Yeah, Luke Wilson, Terry Cowell. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forget. Oh, cheers. You know. So I'm grateful that people like that have spent time with me. And some might say I don't shout about it enough. But I say in almost every video. In fact, look at me. I'm nervously holding my guitar now. I always worry about sounding arrogant. I always worry about sounding like a know-it-all. I always worry about what people think to that degree. But I also worry about, you know, I don't want to take any credit for the hard work that those people put in. And I also don't know what credit I'm really due or what impacts I really had on anything they've achieved since then. Now, obviously, a lot of those guys are Golden Demon winners, you know, and they've had lessons with me. Does that mean I'm the reason? I don't know. And I don't like to say. I mean, in fact, I'm pretty uncomfortable having this conversation about it. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Honestly, right now, I can't tell you how I feel proper uncomfortable saying it. So, you know, a lot of the time, I do rely on my students to say, anyone that comes. And I'm glad they recommend it as well, Steve. So yeah, thank you. It sets me at ease. Honestly, my skin is crawling just talking about it. And this is the thing about me and teaching. Again, I say it again and again and again. I would teach that same lesson to a different student every day. Literally every day I'd teach that lesson. I don't get sick of seeing the penny dropping behind people's eyes when they go, oh, it's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. You know. Yeah, but I don't want to. I have asked them, but I don't want to. No, sorry, I haven't asked them. No, I haven't asked them, and I would feel pretty. I'd feel pretty cheeky asking if I could use their success to springboard my own. You know, I absolutely would do. You know, my success I see as being up to me, and if they feel like I was worthy enough to mention, then I'm grateful of that. But I don't think I'd ever. I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. If I was good enough, then they'd say. That's the way I look at it. If I was good enough, I'd be where I want to be. Am I where I want to be? No or yeah. If no, then I'm not good enough. If yeah, then I was good enough. It's pretty black and white for me like that. So yeah, there you go. I probably won't be saving this video for this entire slice of that conversation as well, you know. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, there you go. And I mean, who's to say even some of these people would even remember? You know. Wow. I really remember when I did my first fundamentals course, my first non-mets course. In fact, my first courses were actually ran with Ali and Mike McVeigh and Dave Neild. Dave Neild again, he's a Golden Demon winner. I did them in Mansfield years ago. You know, they weren't quite as fundamentally as they are now. I'm incredibly refined with how I teach painting. Like I reckon I could give you 3 hours and I bet I could show you some amazing things about yourself, about what you can already do with very little when it comes to paint. I'm massively confident, you know, arrogance out, confidence in. I know what I can teach somebody. You know, I'm incredibly well rehearsed and well practiced at teaching painting. You know, and I'll teach you anything you want. Now, whether in my portfolio or what anyone's seen, whether the thing you want to learn is in there or not, I'm pretty damn sure I could teach it to you. You know, you can show me anything, and I think I'd be able to copy it or emulate something in order for you to get where you need to go pretty quick, like within a day. So like you could go from beginning to crazy good in a day, I reckon. How much is a private painting lesson? Again, some say not enough. I'm cheaper than a driving lesson, let me put it that way. But maybe not cheaper than Elle's experience from last night. Me painting lessons are £20 an hour for a minimum of 3 hours, because you will find that 3 hours goes like that, you know. And I won't do more than 6 hours, because while I would do an 8-hour session, I guarantee your brain will be melting by the end of 6 hours. You will not want to carry on after 6 hours, because there's a lot to take in. Or rather, in fact, me teaching is less about putting information in. It's more about removing the bullshit that's in your head, that's stopping you from being a painter. You know, everyone already is a great painter. Just take that from me now. Everyone's already a great painter. What prevents you from being a painter is a bunch of stupid ideas that you've got from guides and forums and people who think they know what they're on about. And there's you need to refine. Refine means take away and leave only what matters. And that's what it is, essentially. And that actually is quite taxing on your brain, because you're constantly struggling against old habits and old behaviours. So that business. Let's just go back up. I hope they all do recommend. So thank you, Steve. Have I asked them? No, I haven't. I didn't mean that. What would you say you took from my lessons and helped my painting and that sort of thing? Yeah. I mean, I just haven't. LK, you've asked me where do I want to be. To be honest, I'd love to be on the heavy metal team, but I really don't think I have what it takes. And not that's almost the real big thing I would love to do. I'd love to put all my thoughts in a book for Games Workshop. That is what I would love to do, because Games Workshop are the biggest point that I want my message about painting to everyone, and the best place for that to get to everyone is Games Workshop. I want my message for painting, but in order for me to get my message through, then I need to do it, because no one knows my information like me, and I don't trust it in the hands of anyone else. You know, so like when I first started running my fundamentals courses, which were really successful, I saw other people start naming their courses fundamentals courses. I was just like, do you know what? I hope you're not giving the word fundamentals a bad name. Do you even know what it means? Are you, have you been on my course? Are you ripping it off? Or I don't know, and I don't. It's got to be delivered in a real particular way in order to open someone's mind, and it's not about. It's not about selling somebody more. It's about showing people how quick and how easy great painting can be, so they enjoy it. One of the barriers to painting is why you see loads of tabletops of fucking grey models everywhere. One of the barriers to painting is it's a fucking chore, and it doesn't have to be a chore. That's why I've got them speed demon videos. Bam, you can rack out a marine in 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I could do 2,000 points. Make it look sweet in a day. Anyone can. You've seen all the guys that are doing that video. That's why I'm doing it. I'm showing people how quick and easy it is. And yet you go into a Games Workshop, you get shown how quick you can do a marine, and they look like crap and they're a chore. So why? Because these guys that I'm coming in, they're all great guys, and they're not superstar painters. So, and yet they're producing results as good as mine. So I've gotten on my crazy rant then. So yeah, I'd like to get that message out, and I'd love to do a book, like McVeigh did for it all in the 90s. I'd love to do it, and I'd love to do it through Games Workshop, but quite frankly, I don't think that'll ever happen. Not through lack of my trying. So yeah. It's a proper pluck me little heartstrings, that has. I mean, I don't know necessarily what the right people in Games Workshop think of me, and quite frankly, I'm a little bit frightened to know. But there you go. Have some openness from me, as maybe babbled and not as eloquent as I normally would be. So yeah, Angle of the North. Hello, how are you? Steve, you're still trying to break old habits. What kind of old habits might they be? Because I've got a good piece of advice for you. I end my fundamentals course. Right. You don't think my methods would sell G-Dub products for them, but you'd love to see my thoughts on methods out there in a book or PDF form. Now, this is where Games Workshop do need this information, because you think it wouldn't sell more paints, but it would, because how many hobbyists aren't buying paints and don't paint armies? And why? Because they see it as a chore. If I can overcome that objection, then all of a sudden you'll have more painters buying more armies. Now, let's say you've got painters who do paint armies and they do paint them resentfully. Well, what if I showed them, hang on a minute, this can be a lot easier and a lot more fun? Will there be all of a sudden be more painters completing more paint jobs to a higher standard in less time? Will they buy more models and more paints? The answer has to be yes. Has to be yes. So at the moment, the entry level for painting within the hobby, as far as beginner goes, is actually it's all really slow and it's all really careful and it's all really difficult and it ain't. That's just a point, that's just a perspective on it. And that perspective needs to change. It needs to change. You know? Painting can be all carefully, and it can be all fast, fun and furious, but generally the fast, fun and furious part is promoted, or the results are pretty poor, and they don't have to be. They don't have to be at all. You know? But what do I know? You know, I've only ran a fucking billion Games Workshops and got these results out of customers. You know? Ask me last boss, or to me, I don't need to convince you guys. To be honest, it's the powers that be. But you know, I don't know whether it's me. I ain't gonna go into that. Yeah. But when I do put it that way, it is clear, isn't it? That's why there's more unpainted models on tables than there is painted models on tables. Because those objections haven't been overcome. And you know, and all my years in Games Workshop, which is since I was 18, I'm 40 now, all them years in Games Workshop is about understanding customer service, and what customer service is about, overcoming up people's objections so they can have more fun doing more of the hobby more of the time. And painting is the area where no one does that. No one does it, man. So, proper got me on a passionate. So yeah, painting and good painting is simple and straightforward. Can be fun and easy. See, I don't know if you were here earlier on. You say you don't paint to game because you get bored repeating schemes. But if you have a look at my Space Wolves closely, you'll find that I actually experiment a lot. And I said with my knights at the beginning of the video, all my knights are all different colours. You know, I've got the odd... In fact, I've got like 15 Terminators in my Space Wolf army, and one of them's done in non-met silver. You know, oh, my phone's going to run out of battery. Let me just get a thing. Oh, it won't reach. There we go. I'm back. You did miss the beginning, yeah, but I mean, I've said it now. So, yeah, that I just experiment. If you look at the difference between my grey hunters and my obviously it's easy if you see them in person. You probably won't get that impression with some of the pics on the internet, but you might do if you have a look at the difference between my blood claws and my grey hunters. They're completely different, you know. So I keep variety in there myself. Now if I'm painting professionally, then that's a different story. You know, the money keeps me motivated and the customer service keeps me motivated. But ultimately, yeah, I play and I experiment. You know, but then the next thing is this is a big one. This actually, you have to realise that getting bored is an idea in your head. It's not actually something that happens. It's almost something you condition yourself to start thinking and doing. Because let me put it this way. What am I painting right now? You know, what am I painting? Alright. Let me change the model. Let me change the colours. What am I painting right now? How is it different? You know, because ultimately, you never get sick of this action. You know, so it's just an idea in your head. Like, if I'm highlighting, say, Marines or highlighting pink horrors, it's still this. You know, and what I'm chasing is quality. No matter how many models I paint, I'm always chasing a certain quality. And the colours don't matter. You know, so I remind myself of that when I start to get to a point where I think I'm bored. It's not that I'm bored, it's that maybe I might need a quick stretch or a quick rest or a quick rejig of my mental state. You know, we tell ourselves we're sick of something in our heads, but that's just a thought, it's just some kind of weird internal monologue, and that's just not necessarily a fact. Sorry to get all psyche on you, but that's where I'm at in my life. That's what gets me. That's what gets me through some of the horrors I've seen, you know, with myself. But it's true. It works. Just because you've got a thought in your head, it doesn't mean you need to action on it, or even that it's true. You know, and that applies to every human being. You know, it's just some of us do, and then blame, whatever. But that's a deeper fucking conversation, isn't it? So yeah, I know it makes sense, but yeah, I mean, so in fact, I said earlier on, one of the things and this relates to what I just said. In fact, let me just go back. You still try to break old habits. That's what you said earlier on, and this takes me into this because. The right painting better is about thinking better. It's about making better choices over trying to improve your skill. Alright, it's always about choice. And again, I said at the beginning, I think I did anyway, choices. If you make better choices, you'll just become a better painter like that. The moment you understand what your choices are. Okay, and I end my fundamentals course on a phrase. I have it written at the bottom of the sheet I give out. If you focus on finishing the model, you will have finished the model. If you focus on the lessons I've taught you, you will also finish the model, yet you'll have become a better painter. Yeah. So if you've got bad habits to break, don't sit there and just think, oh, I've got bad habits to break. Yeah, or oh, I've got to finish this model. Sit there and think, okay, instead of breaking this habit, what's the opposite of the habit? What is the ideal situation? I will now focus on just that. And I won't beat myself up if I forget for a couple of brush strokes or whatever. I'll keep going back to focusing on just that. And I guarantee after a couple of nights painting, that'll just be ingrained into you and your old habit will be gone. And you'll have finished your model. And it'll have been to a better standard. And you'll be stepping constantly towards your goal. And that's just a choice to make. Yeah, you might have to make that choice 500 times over those 2 days. So what? Just a choice, isn't it? You know? So what? You know? Just keep getting it wrong, and that's all right, because that's part of the knocking on the door to let you into that next level. You know? So yeah, focus on what it is you're trying to learn. Get clear on what it is you're trying to learn. You know? I think that's the big one. Actually, most people think they want to learn non-nets. They think they want to learn how to blend properly, but they're results of what it is you really need to learn. So what is it you really need to learn? There's a question for you. Shove an answer below. There is a question for you. Most people think they need to learn the colour wheel, which is bullshit. You know, although useful tools, they're not what you need to learn. In fact, I've already said it in the video actually earlier on. you know. So, what's more important than learning how to base coat? I don't think there's a lot more important than learning how to base coat. Learning how to base coat properly and efficiently carries all the secrets of the universe. That much I do know. Yeah, the secrets of the universe are in base coating. Yeah. Reminiscing about base coating a model. Winning likes. What do you mean by that, El? You mean I've just won some likes? Who's still here, by the way? I definitely know the good El and the good Steve are here, but who else is still here? Give us a shout out. What do you think of what I'm saying, all you folk who aren't piping up? Contribute. Ask me some questions. You've all got me going now. I was playing guitar. I was going to give everyone a serenade for the evening, but you've got me all fired up about painting. Alexander, you're alright, man. Engel of the North, good evening. Theories on what are heavy metal winning likes? Processing as the topic is deep. I think I'm lost with what it is you're on about here. You mean the thought processes behind painting? Mate, you resist away. You say what you've got to say. Absolutely. I encourage that business. Your lazy brain doesn't want to change. Yeah, that's alright. That's a choice though, isn't it? You choose if you don't want to, that's fine. You know, so for example, I met one guy years ago. This is when I was I was pretty fresh at starting to teach people how to paint, and I was like, I saw this guy. He had, averagely, but well averagely painted dwarf army, and I was like, dude, I like your painting. What is it you do with X, Y, Z? And he goes, these take me about 8 hours each, and I was like, what the fuck? 8 hours? I went, dude, you should be able to do that in an hour. And he was like, yeah, but I don't want to change. I went, why don't you want to change? He's like, because I'm happy. I can't argue with that. And you're like, so, and I said, just for clarification, are you telling me that you'd rather paint them at 8 hours because you're happy than get the same result, say, in an hour? And I can show you how to do it right now. He goes, no, honestly, I'm not resisting you. I'm just happy. I'm happy with my way. Well, why break happy for the sake of economy? And it's a very interesting little conversation I had, and that taught me a little bit of humility as a teacher, is that, we are all here, and we are all doing this for fun. We're not really doing it for anything else. It might be your bread and butter or what have you, but I tell you what, if you commission painting and you're not having fun doing it for your clients, then I don't think really you should be doing it, because you're gonna start to resent, and you might be damaging your reputation at some point. So I wouldn't do that. Fear of change. Yeah, well, it depends what it is you're trying to do, though, doesn't it? Everyone's trying to get better at painting all the time, yet you can't do that and fear change at the same time. Well, you can, but you won't get better. Get my ass to London, mate. I'm well up for it. Oh, mate, I'm well up for Salute again next year if I'm in with that. I won't mind being. I kind of enjoyed watching the announcing this year, and I was like, I fancy a bit of announcing. Stand up on the stage and give some folks some jip for a little bit, and then hand out some trophies. Quite enjoyed watching that bit. I won't munch my salad while they do it though this year. Alright, so Mr. 40 Hayden. That's what I found I was missing when I tried to push my learning, enjoyment and being happy. Well, yeah, you just got to know what it is you're after. You know, if what's going to make you happy is seeing your speed and quality improve, then that's what's going to make you happy. If what's going to make you happy is a lot of variety, then that's what's going to make you happy. But yeah, I suppose sometimes it's about honesty. Be honest with yourself about what it is you're trying to do, because a lot of people want to be a better painter, but they want somebody with some kind of magic bullet to come and shoot them with it, so they're just a better painter. It's not going to happen without a lot of work, and you take that work, you got to look at yourself. You know, you really, it's about self-analysis. You kind of got to get a kick out of that. So I'm always excited to know where I can always start improving things, you know. So yeah. King Sax, Quintamilla, blah, 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 blah. I can't even say that name. Let's say it. Quintella de Mello. Higher. Anyway, I'm going to give you a wave. Bosh. Boosh. There we go. You were just about to mention me salad. Alexander, you were at Salute in 2017. Which Salute did we have? Like, yeah, I was there. I was judging at Salute at 2017. Thanks to Mr. L. And I was there 2018, you know. That salad was delicious, you know. You got a silver in juniors in 2017. Did you enter 2018, by the way? I didn't judge the juniors. L was head judge that year. He was the boss. Yeah, give me that bullet. Yeah. Now, Alexander, you say the models weren't the best paint job, but surely they must have been pretty good to be getting a silver, juniors or not. What was it you painted, by the way? Remind me. What was it you painted, mate? What kind of barbarian? I don't remember, man. What's that? Send me a picture. I remember it when I see it. I make a point, believe it or not. I make a point of looking at every single model when I judge, for two reasons. Reason one, I used to help out in Golden Demon in the early part of this century, which makes me sound ancient. I used to help out with Golden Demon. Whether people know that or whether they remember that or whether they even give a shit is another story. But Adrian Bay won a Golden Demon because I spotted he'd done like a 54mm Blood Claw model. I spotted that and I went up to Dave Andrews and said, Dave, this hasn't got a sticker for the next round. I really think it should do. You know, and I think he got a bronze that year. Did Mr. Bay. I think it was Adrian Bay. I get mixed up between certain people. But anyway, it was a few years ago. Yeah, and I found it a shame that actually happened. But I was obviously I was glad because it got seen, it got judged, and it got through. You know, so that's reason one. Reason two is my first and only time entering Salute. I took my flower night. It was the first time I'd been to Salute as well. And I didn't get anything for Salute with my flower night. And when I asked, I can't remember what year it was, it might have been 2014, something like that. And when I asked the judge for feedback, you know, the judge said, I haven't seen it. I looked at it and I was like, right, okay. I was gutted, as you can imagine. But I had to suck that up and crack on, which is good advice for anyone. And then I hear stories about people. In fact, there's three reasons. I've had many discussions about people saying, "Oh, the reason I buy a big plinth is so my model is seen more than other models," and I just think that's a bullshit reason because that's not painting, but that is people's reasoning. So, with that in mind, when I'm judging, I make sure I look at everything. Even if, let's say, I look at it in the cabinet from behind, even if I can see the standard isn't good enough, I'll still look. I'll look at everything for those reasons. One, I've been on the receiving end of not being looked at. Two, I've helped somebody be on the receiving end of being looked at. And three, I don't want to be that judge where somebody thinks they need to get a fucking 6-inch stick to put the frigging little man on. I don't want to be that guy. You know, so, you know. L's kind of the boss, by the way, when it comes to these things. And I think this might all be new information for him as well. But that's how seriously I take it. I absolutely fucking care. Absolutely care. Right, the thing up the top that just said we've got 20 odd seconds left. So I'll probably will post this video up actually because there's some good information in here. So thank you all for coming to see me. Got 10 seconds left. Please like and share this video. If you've had lessons with me and you like it, please tell the world. Beg, beg, beg. Cheers guys. Over and out.